All right, everybody. Well, hey, welcome to Note Night in America. Hope everybody's doing well this Monday night. Excited to be here. I think, honestly, this Note Night in America will be really impactful for quite a few of you, just because the fact is that it's been very impactful for me and probably been one of the most impactful things that has helped us grow our note business and everything else that we've done over the last 12 months. But before we dive into that tonight, once again, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and we're glad to get rocking. But anyway, welcome to Note Night in America. Obviously, we have a lot of note and real estate investors here, people interested in notes. These calls are recorded. We do record it. For those of you that are part of the WCN crew here, obviously all of you should be. The link will get uploaded to that, so you'll be able to go back and watch it if you've got to bug out beforehand. If you're watching the replay, hey, make sure you grab a piece of paper and take some notes. We are live streaming to YouTube, but privately, so we have it on there as well. The replays, most of our videos are on WeCloseNotes.tv, but so make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also, we do make this available for those that are listening on our iTunes podcast for Note Night in America out there for everybody else, and that should be available in about a week or two. So, Chris Savenia, awesome. You got the swag bag today, buddy. Glad you have it. Love to see you take a photo of it and share all your good stuff. The big S, the coffee cup, whatever. I'm glad to hear that you got it. Love to see some social media sharing out there for everybody out there. But anyway, tonight's talk is something valuable, I think, for many of you. But before we get rock and rolling, really excited about the No Close Show podcast. Really hit some new things with some things. We're at actually 430 plus episodes, 200 and almost 70,000 downloads. Would really appreciate if you guys are watching this or listening to this. If you go over to iTunes or Stitcher or however you listen to the show, and please leave a review and subscribe to it. We've got so much great content, interviews, and then also guests that are being a part of it, and then vendors too. And so Chris Savenia, you and Gail Greenberg's episode that I interviewed you on is doing really well. Look forward to being on your show here next week or so as well too, for those that are watching out there. But we've just expanded crazy across the country, and it's causing us to do a little bit of some different things in a good way as we're evolving as marketers. But I really believe that this we're going to be talking about tonight is going to help many of you, not only locally, but also domestically across from East Coast to West Coast, because I think so many of us are working with real estate investors in different parts of the country. But before I go into that, quick update on some upcoming events. We had our fast track training this weekend. What a great time. We had actually more than two spots. We had a great time with the people that were a part of it. Really looking forward to what Dale and Matt and Sherry are going to be doing. And then we had our first ever bobsledder come into the fast track training this weekend. Big shout out to Kyler, who's in Colorado Springs today, trying out for the U.S. bobsled team this week. So we give him a big this next weekend. Actually, kudos to Kyler. Look forward to hearing some more stuff from him as well. We may be heading out to San Diego Wednesday through Friday for the Social Media Marketing World taking place. We've not attended this one event. We've got tickets to it, but don't know if we'll be headed out yet, just because we're working on finalizing some stuff here in the office to get things rocking and rolling as we're selling some stuff off. We're selling some assets off. We do are excited that the Quest $1 trillion mixer is next. Wow, it is next week. It's a week from tomorrow. I guess I better come up with some ideas then for the Quest $1 trillion mixer to next Tuesday night here in Austin, Texas at the Quest office. So we're excited about that. And then, of course, the Magnify Your Wealth Summit is April 11th through the 13th in San Diego with Aaron Young and those folks. That same weekend is the Paper Source Summit in Las Vegas, too. So if you're looking for asset protection, I'd be going to Laughlin and Associates. If you're looking for notes and kind of getting started, then I would go to the Paper Source Summit taking place at the Tuscany. Our next fast track training is April 19th through the 21st. We do have just two spots available. Lots available for that. So if you're interested, let me know. Really love what people had to say about our event this weekend. They were like, they got their value in the very first day. And I guess those that have been on here as well would agree to that. But our Note Mastermind, April 26th to the 28th, is here in Austin. The last weekend of the month. God, it's going to be here in 5 weeks, basically. So I'd love to have you come out. We will have a couple sneak peeks passes for those that are interested in in coming and kind of checking it out. So make sure you email me at Scott@WeCloseNotes if you'd like to see about getting a sneak peek pass. It's $1,000 to come and hang out for a couple days. And that amount is totally applicable. You can apply it to the Note Mastermind Fast Track training if you end up using it within the next 90 days. And then our final, and not really our final one, but the next one after that is not going to be till June. So if you really want to get rocking and rolling, now's the time to get rocking and lock, cocked, and ready to rock in the note business, everybody. There was an interesting article that came out about how default rates are increasing in parts of the country, including Austin was a top 10, which is pretty surprising out there. So we've got some good stuff. I think next week we'll talk about some of the different foreclosure markets that we're seeing and things like that. But I've got one chapter left for the Loan Tales book. If you guys are interested in being a part of it, $5.99 gets you a chapter. Plus, it'll also get you an interview on the Note Closure Show podcast, along with being marketed all across the board. So if you're interested, Loan Tales, $5.99 gets you a chapter, and we'll tell your story, your note story, whether it's owner finance, first, second, performing, non-performing, partials, whatever. We'd love to have you there. So any questions about any of the events before we dive into the content tonight? Now, I guarantee you guys want to grab a pen and paper because you want to take some notes down here tonight. You're definitely going to want to take some notes down tonight to help you go back because you're going to go, what? You're going to be like crazy, be like me. What? Not, we're going to be like this screaming. Yeah. All right. But tonight, we're talking about leveraging LinkedIn, and it's kind of a teeter-totter. Some of you guys have been extremely excited about leveraging LinkedIn and growing your audience, but when something happened a few months ago, you kind of stopped doing it. And I'm a big believer that LinkedIn has been one of the most powerful, it has had one of the most powerful impacts, not just on my note business, not just on the education business, not just on my podcast, but all across the place. And I'm really seeing it by some of the things that we've just implemented over the last couple months, and then also immediate results on some other things. So the question I like to ask people first and foremost is, how are you using LinkedIn? And knowing you guys, and knowing those most of our listeners in Note Nation, you're using it to contact special asset managers. And if you're not, there's 360,000 special asset managers. If you type that into the search engine, special asset managers for the people, 360,000 show up. Now, if you type in secondary marketing managers, 1.4 million. I think it's like 1.3 and almost 1.4. So I just rounded up. But there's a lot of people that have secondary marketing manager or secondary marketing in their titles. A lot of people have been through the secondary marketing side, okay? The special asset manager, a ton, 360,000 people out there in some sort of secondary marketing facet. It's a whole lot more people than there are banks and lending institutions, but it's still a lot of opportunity. I've used LinkedIn to connect with other real estate investors. If you type in real estate investor, it pulls up 310,000 real estate investors. It's a lot of people. Now, that's people all across the world. I should have narrowed it down by America. But anyway, I type in connecting with a note investor. I type in note investor. It pulls up 240,000 note investors. Okay? Think about that. That's a lot of people out there, right, everybody? A lot of people. Now, the question I want to ask you guys, too, is, are you marketing on LinkedIn regularly? Now, I don't mean by going out and targeting special asset managers. That's a different story. I'm talking about posting something, posting a blog, posting a video, doing something, posting on a daily, weekly, monthly, or never basis. And so what I want to do real fast for those that are here, I'd like for you guys to answer that question with a poll for me. Come on, poll. All right. So I'm going to launch this. If you guys could take a couple minutes or a couple seconds just to answer, if you post to monthly, maybe, okay, how often you're posting. All right. Come on, everybody. Fully interactive. Question on here. Like once ever? That's funny, Dan. All right. So 20, let's see here, right? Come on, give me one more. One of you holdouts who hasn't answered this. It's not a trick question, people. Exactly. One more. We got 89%. There we go. Oh, 92. There we go. So I'm going to end this here real fast. Took a minute for you guys to do that. Thank you. So I'm going to share results. You had basically never, 8% of you never market. Ouch. That's scary. Okay. Monthly, maybe half of you roughly. Weekly is about 15%, and only one of you market on LinkedIn daily. Wow. Okay. One of you market on LinkedIn daily. Who's that one that says they did daily? It won't show me that because I'm not that. We want to opt into the chat there that they market on here daily. Now, I do a daily. We do several times daily for the most part. All right. Who is this? Me. Raw Sheen says you market daily there. Okay, awesome, Raw. Glad to hear that. Now, Raw, what are some of the biggest things that you do on a daily basis when you market on there? Are you running ads on there? Are you just posting? You posting articles? Mainly posting. Okay, that's good. That's good. And how many followers or connections do you have, Raw? 2,500. Okay. Would you say a big chunk of that has come? Your connections have come from you posting on a daily basis? Or that you're getting a lot of good results from people seeing things, starting to interact with you? No, from you saying reaching out, searches. Okay, so you're connecting with people. I'm talking about posting. I'm saying posting an article, posting a blog, posting a video, not reaching out to people, okay? Not reaching out to searches, but I'm talking from literally posting marketing on a daily basis, okay? So here's some of the things why if you guys aren't, most of you aren't doing this on a basis, maybe, as Dan Dippin said, once maybe, which is kind of funny, Dan. So let's go through some of the numbers. What I want you guys to see some of the numbers out here, okay? 54% of respondents that came out the article, a bigger thing I came across the survey, have less than 500 connections, okay? So if you have more than 500 connections, you're in the top half of LinkedIn because a lot of people have less than 500 connections, okay? 27% of those that were surveyed had 500 to 1,000. 12% have between 1,000 and 2,000. 3% have between 2,000 and 3,000. 4% have 3,000 plus connections. Now, that number is not for the total aspect of things out there. My buddy Marcus Murphy, who actually works for Digital Marketer, is on the LinkedIn board, LinkedIn development board. And I've had a chance to visit with him and really enjoyed some of the things that he shared recently at Traffic and Conversion Summit. And and some of the other things that he's shared out there. It's just a phenomenal guy. I'd highly recommend you go follow him. But that's just based on one short survey they ran out there. Now, the numbers are a little bit different here. So I want to share some of the different numbers of people. And I found this really great survey they did of different social media platforms, especially where your adults are spend time, okay? So this one is the percent of adults who say they use Facebook. Marcus Murphy. Okay, Marcus Murphy. So 62% of men, adults, use Facebook. 74% of women. You can see the age group. The 81% of 18 to 30-year-olds, which really isn't our classification we're looking for, are on Facebook there. 30 to 50, 50 to 64, and then 65 plus. Now you can see the location, 95% urban, 67% are suburban, and 5.8% are rural. You can see the high school degrees on here is varied, and then the income levels are increased on there. Okay, that's percent of U.S. adults who use it. So if you figure it out, it's an average of 68% of male and women, men and women, adults are using Facebook. Okay, great. Not bad at all, right? Now, here's one thing you like that you use Instagram. The numbers are going to be a lot smaller. Only basically 30% of adult men are using it, 39% of adult women. You can see it's a much higher ratio on the low end. And I'm at a low end, I'm saying of below 30. 64% are below of those below 30 are using this. Okay. Same, it's kind of the right thing. It's a little bit lower on the college side because it's just such a younger group. Therefore, the income levels are down a little bit too. But let's talk about, all right, Twitter. Only roughly 24% of adults are using Twitter these days. All right. But the beautiful thing on this is it's when you're on Twitter, we found out is a big chunk of them are highly educated. All right. Making good chunks of money too. Pinterest. You know, it obviously sways almost 41% for women. Only 60% of adult men are using that. It's much more evenly amount across kind of the age demographics. It's a little higher on the college side of things and the income. But the LinkedIn side here, right at 25% of adults out there. Now, those that are using it that they find out are college educated and making quite a bit of chunk of money. 45% of that group is making 75 grand or more. So it's a highly targeted, I guess you could say, higher income earning aspect of it. A lot of it's urban and suburban stuff. So that's the thing I want you to get at. The age group is 30 to 50 and 50 to 64. That comprises a lot there of highly educated people. And that's what I'm trying to get. I think a lot of us are marketing in places that aren't making sense for us. And I only say that pointing the finger back at me. I mean, we do a lot in Facebook. We do a lot in Instagram. But we spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, I think more than most people do, because we're posting daily, sometimes multiple times daily there, and we're seeing a lot of things. Now, YouTube. This kind of surprised me on these numbers. Basically 75% of adult men, 72% of adult women are on there. Large percentages, you see 91% is under 30 crowd, 85% of the under, the 30 to 50 crowd, and then 68% of the 50 to 64 crowd. There's a higher ratios of percentages that using YouTube, which is why I harp on using YouTube on it, is because 85% of those that are on there have some sort of college education and they're making a lot of money. So you got some great people. It's a big audience of a lot of people. And why does this compare to LinkedIn? Well, I'm going to get to something here in just a second. Why? Because if you're using video, shooting video, YouTube's a great spot. Second largest search engine behind Google, right? Number 2, most visited website in the world and also in the United States. Now, LinkedIn, getting back to LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a number 12 most visited website in the United States, or number 12, sorry. But number 27 across the world, because it is primarily it's a American thing bought by Microsoft. It's do have international, but the United States is the biggest thing. Now, there are some really cool things I've learned that you can use on LinkedIn to leverage whether you're at home or out in an event. And you want this whole find nearby feature where you can connect with other people at an event. Oh my gosh, I just loved it. Well, I'll show you how we do that later on. I have to say, I don't think a lot of you are using LinkedIn groups on an effective basis. There are some very big LinkedIn groups that you can share and post to 500,000 people. And that while you may not be able to always connect with people because you're too far separated in connections on LinkedIn, if you're part of the same group, you can connect with anybody in that group because you're connected with them. That's a huge feature that I think a lot of people aren't using. Direct messaging. Oh my gosh. This has been, I think many of you have used this for the special asset managers of secondary marketing. What do you have on your books? Now, what we have started doing is adding a little short video, like a pitch thing, a little short video, 2 minutes or less to our direct messages. And it's really increased engagement across the board. I'll go with that in a little bit here as well. But one of the big things, everybody was all upset after Thanksgiving when LinkedIn eliminated the feature for you to export your contacts, right? People are like upset. Well, the beautiful thing is I think you need to switch differently. I know many of you probably has like, I'm going to stop doing it. You can use things like scrap.io. There's a few data scrubbing things that you can use that's not really the most effective. But I want you to start considering, instead of exporting connections, importing connections in LinkedIn, making LinkedIn a place for you to explode your business by adding the different lists that you're a part of, the different networks, the different things you're a part of. And whether it be your business card file folder, or it's a list from like NoteCamp or a virtual note buying workshop or something like that, or it's a list of spreadsheets, a list of asset managers you've downloaded from bank contacts, or you've got a list of IRA investor emails that you've purchased through us or something like that, or even uploading your opt-ins from your website. Okay. I think this is a really smart thing to do, and we'll get to some of this later on. Now, the first thing, let's talk about finding people nearby you. Now, I want you all to pull out your cell phone. Hopefully, you've all got the LinkedIn app on your phone. All right. I don't know how effectively it's going to work with us all spread across the country with us that are on here, but I want you to pull out your LinkedIn and click on the LinkedIn app. Okay. Now, I want you to do, you can see, I'm on my homepage there, and it just shows, I literally just pulled this up a minute ago. You can see Tracy Hazard. There it says, with ink columnist. She's my friend. If I click there, I want you to go down when you're on your homepage, because on your homepage, and then you'll see the little network thing at the bottom of your LinkedIn app. I want you to click on that. That's going to take you to the next page. It looks like this at the top. Yes, I've got 15,647 connections. All right. But what I want you to do next, though, this is really cool, is you see this button? Hit Find Nearby. Find Nearby. And it's going to go out and try to find nearby members for you. Give it a second. As you can see, it says nearby members can only discover you when you're on this page. Now, what was really cool is when we were in Traffic Conversion Summit, Marcus did this from the front of the stage, and I was able to add almost 100 new people directly who were there. Now, it may not work because we're spread all across the country. If you're listening to this, you may want to go back and sign up for the WCN membership at $97 a month to have access to this stuff. But some of you guys may start seeing people pop up. They're nearby. Now, it only works when the people are in there. So one of the great things that we're going to do is using this to leverage when we're at events. Hey, go to you're in LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn by doing this, pulling your LinkedIn profile and literally showing people how to do this, and they connect with it. Now, with us running this live webinar, there's not too many people that are on the web like they normally do, but it's okay. If you use this as a great way to find things. But I thought that was pretty cool to do this, and it was just something that I have been messing around a little bit. Finding nearby you can only discover when you're on this page. When we both have this page open. Now, hopefully you can go back and set this up on a regular basis with you to do this. If you're speaking from an audience or you're out networking, you might want to do this at Find Nearby, and then you can connect with them. I thought that was really cool. Now, one of the things that most of you should be doing here is doing the opposite of what you were doing prior to Thanksgiving 2018. And by this, I mean importing contacts. Now, some things to keep in mind with LinkedIn. You can have up to 30,000 connections. You actually can have more than that. But what happens when you hit the 30,000 connections, you can't accept new invitations. So like if you hit 30,000 connections and somebody wanted to connect with you and they sent you an invite, you would not be able to accept those anymore. Now, you would only then be able to invite others to connect with you. All right? Yeah, 30,000. Woo! Now, the beauty of this is that the top 10 people out there on LinkedIn have 36,000 connections. You got to hit 36,000, roughly be in the top 10, based on an article I read recently. I'm not quite there yet, okay? I've got a ways to go. But I'm a big believer when I look at what my business page has done on Facebook with 33,000 connections and the traffic we get off of that, that's an opportunity. Now, the number one guy has over 50,000 plus connections as of a year ago, so I'm sure he's probably closer to 50, 60. The thing is, you think about this, those are connections. And if they're on LinkedIn, they're usually a little higher, more highly educated, interesting. And what they say, they ran the Association of American Marketing Association did a survey of CEOs to find out where they're spending their time at. And overwhelmingly, many of them are spending their time on LinkedIn and Twitter. They are not spending time on Facebook. Now, the beautiful thing is that if you have a LinkedIn profile, a free account, you don't need a paid account or a business account, just a normal free account, you can actually import up to 10,000 emails at a time. You can actually import up to 10,000 emails at a time. Now, maybe you don't have 10,000 connections. Maybe you don't have a 10,000 person database. But many of you, like I said, have gone through different workshops, different seminars. You've got a box of business cards. I wouldn't necessarily take the business card contacts and upload that to MailChimp because it's probably going to kill it because of the fact of how old some of those contacts are. But you can take that list and import it to LinkedIn to still see if you can connect with those people. If they're still using an old email without killing your LinkedIn account. It's not the same thing as like uploading an old list of MailChimp or Infusionsoft where they'll spam it. But it's a cool thing. So why is this important? Why am I getting to this? Why am I trying to harp on this to help you guys leverage LinkedIn for? Because I'm a big believer, especially with some of the cool things that are coming down the path and some of the changes to everything. It's important you do this. And some of you have already known we've made changes to some of the things that we're doing. We've moved Note Camp to once a year versus twice a year. We're doing maybe 2 virtual workshops this year. All right, did one in February. We may do one in the year. We're still going to have our 3 mastermind meetings, but one is going to be right around the Quest Trust Expo. One in 5 weeks. The other one will be in December. But I'm speaking less on the road because I'm using these online tools to build our audience. And if I look back at the last 18 months, I've grown my LinkedIn audience from 6,000 connections to 15,000 connections, and it's been very valuable. People opting in, people wanting to raise or pledge capital, people, asset managers sending us one-off deals. Okay. So important is that we're connecting actually with the decision makers. They're literally connecting with the decision makers of these companies or things. I'm avoiding the drama of Facebook. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so sick and tired of just the negativity of Facebook. I don't really even go onto my personal page on a regular basis. Now, we post there regularly, but I love the fact that LinkedIn is drama-free for the most part. Drama-free. All right. One big thing that you need to know this is that LinkedIn, they'll be adding a live video feature in 2020. It's probably just going to be for your business pages, is what they told me. That's what Marcus has said. I would expect them to roll it over to the personal accounts, but the funny thing is that there are less than 300 people, less than 3 people are actually using video on LinkedIn right now. Less than 300 people are posting video on LinkedIn on a regular basis. Right now, it's like a 15-minute upload to it, which is fine. Maybe you need to take your videos and cut them up, slice and dice them up a little bit, but who knows? We see a lot of great feedback on LinkedIn, okay? Now, the thing you got to keep in mind, if people have a LinkedIn profile, they're usually a better fit for note and real estate investing. They're higher educated. They're making more money, but they have less time. And it allows for you, especially, to build your online resume and build rapport. A lot of times when people look through this, and that's what the asset managers are looking at too. If you're looking, they're going to go directly to your LinkedIn profile to look at things. So what should you be posting to LinkedIn on a regular basis? I would be posting, deals, case studies, short videos about your deals you're doing. If you have a podcast or you're doing video nuggets, share that to LinkedIn. All right? Share it there because it's important to get it out there. Like Dan Deppen, we were talking today on your Loan Tales interview. I would be the 30 plus deals that you've done, or the 37 or the 7 you're getting ready to close. I would be creating short little videos out there of each one, a little case studies, and throwing that on LinkedIn. Because people's attention span on Facebook is small compared to those that are spending time on LinkedIn. I'm going to take care of you guys. You know that I care about what you do because I want you guys to have success. Look, there's still plenty of success out there. There's 300 some odd million people on LinkedIn, and most of it, or maybe it's just the United States, but you guys have so many capabilities out here, and we're seeing so much stuff happen that I believe that if you start using video on LinkedIn, it's going to lead to some good stuff for you. Because let's talk about some stuff here, okay? So I'm a big believer, like so many of you have like a YouTube account, right? And so you're going out, hey, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, I need 100 people to subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can now customize it and make it Stonegate Capital, make it Week Close Notes, make it Gail the Note Gal, right? Instead of you trying to get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, if you import them and they connect with you, they're your subscribers already. Instead of you dealing with a maximum of 5,000 Facebook friends and you got to follow people, or you start a business page, screw that. You can add up to 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. Yes, expand your friends, expand your audience. Okay. Instagram followers. That's the hardest thing for us because it's really the least effective use of our marketing. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. I love 2,000, 3,000 people. If I go live, a few people that connect with me, like we did last Monday night, where we did the quick kind of the Instagram live story thing. That was great. But I would rather have highly educated people. Not that you weren't highly educated last night. I'm just saying that the demographic for Instagram is a lot less than what we're focused on. And I see a lot of real estate investors out there, and I see people like, hey, posting, doing all this stuff. That's great. If it's the wrong demographic, you might as well just be shouting into the wind for those that aren't going to hear you. Okay. Now, the same thing I like to do, maybe you're getting website opt-ins, collecting people opt-in. I think one of the most valuable things you can do is then connect with them on another social media platform to start contacting. Remember, 80% of sales are made at the fifth contact. If you can speed this up a little bit, for people that are opting to your website or meeting you at an event or connected with you in some sort of fashion, it's going to speed the raising the capital, the closing the deals, the finding the assets, okay? And now they become your audience that you can market to. They're your audience, okay? And like I said, help you find deals if you're dealing with asset managers or other note investors, help you raise capital, talking about what you're doing. And then also, if you're looking to sell assets, you can help you sell assets a little bit more effectively. And all those things work in your favor without having to pay for Facebook ads, without having to do an Instagram boost. Literally, if you can take your contacts and upload them in, it'll help you explode your audience out there. Now, what I wanted to do is share with us a couple things with you guys real fast and kind of walk you through this a little bit. All right. So I've got a list. What I did is I went on and let me pull this up here. Actually, I have a contact list. Here's people that have opted in my note. If you go to my website, hang on here. If you go straight to WeCloseNotes.com. If you go to WeCloseNotes.com and you scroll down here, people click on here to buy notes, do a virtual class, or a mastermind, right? A little bit more information about that. So people clicking on the buy notes aspect of it, we've had quite a few people because we're getting 9,000 unique visitors to our website a month. So they fill this out, first name, email, first name, last name, cell phone, their top 3 states. Now, I do this because they're looking to buy notes. I want a little bit more information. But most of you, all you need is really the email, the first name, and a cell phone number. Email, first name, last name, cell phone number. Okay? A beautiful thing, if you just got a first name and email address, you can still connect with a lot of people out there. So what I did, drum roll, please. Is I have gone out here and I basically pulled that list, exported it from Infusionsoft. I removed everything else except the emails. They're just the email address, okay? And on this one list alone, in the last few months, we have had 1,600 opt-ins, 1,619 opt-ins to the website. All right? Because we market a lot, right? All right. I saved this as a CSV file. So let me go back here. New share. I'm going to pull in and show you how to do it because it's really pretty easy. All right. Share my LinkedIn page. Share. Okay. So here, when I click on home, here's where I'm at. My home, when I see like Dan Cathy, there's some new posts in here. Dairy Phil, my friend Krista Bowe commented on this. You got some trailers there. You got advertising ATT, Brant Phillips. We know Brant. So the thing is, and you see different recent groups I've been to, like the real estate, self-directed IRA. There's all sorts of great stuff that I've gone to. Okay. I've had 6. The beautiful thing here, let me click on who's viewed your profile. 675 people have viewed my profile in the past 90 days. That's down 53% this week. But you can see on here who has viewed your profile. Now, if you're reaching out to asset managers, I think it makes sense to go back and look to see who's viewed your profile. Keith Fleischer, Lucio Investments, Lead magnet guru Brian Williams reached out to me. He's a mortgage broker and real estate investor. He's also Scott Smith. Chris Bowles, buddy. Hey, bud. Sherry Shan, Matthew Johnson. Some of these people are brand new. Kyler Allison is the Dahila Hayes. I can see a lot of Peter Kotzbeck is a friend of mine, fellow podcaster. It's funny. Jasmine always looked at my profile 5 days ago. Okay. This is kind of a cool thing you can see. And if you're connected with them, great. Connect with them or send them a message. So like this one, Daniel Crozer, energy storage consultant. Okay. So asset managers checking you out. Go ahead and connect with them. Your truth revealed. Oh, Eric, I'll come back to that. So that's the great thing. Now, the beautiful thing is I'm going to click on my network. And you can see over the left-hand side, I've got 1,656 connections. There are different groups I'm a part of. 11 companies have sent things to me or I follow. And the hashtags are 17 hashtags. So what it says on your contact import is ready. What you want to do is just hit continue. And it's going to take you over to your network here. Give it a second. All right. I'm going to skip this real fast because I'm going to show you something. All right. So I'm going to say I'm going to try another email. Doesn't see anyone you wanted to invite. That's fine. So try another email. Now I'm going to look at either my one Scott Clarkson email at gmail.com and continue, or here we go. Here's a big thing. Either if you use Outlook, you can click on Outlook and connect your Outlook account to see anybody you email and go out and find somebody there, which is pretty valuable for many of you that are emailing asset managers. Or you can send this upload a file thing. Ooh, upload a file you talk about. That's right. So hit upload a file. You can go over here. And I'm going to type in the NFL because I think it should be on my desktop. NFL WC and opt-ins. It's going to be a CSV file or a TXT file. So I'm going to hit open. It's loaded there. I'm going to hit upload. And it's going to work its magic. It's going to take those email lists, the 1,678 or whatever it is, and go out and see if they have a LinkedIn profile with those emails. And I don't know why I didn't think about this. So you can see here, it says it added, it says we found 2,323 people who know you on LinkedIn, who people you know on LinkedIn. Select the people you'd like to connect with. Now, the maximum that'll allow you to try to connect with at a time is 2,500. Okay. So a lot of these, I'll click on, that's awesome. Because there's more than, it was only 1,600. So I had some left over from a list I uploaded messing around with this the other day, but it asked me to connect. Like I uploaded a list of emails I got from going to my New Media Summit, and Dr. Gail Carson, Kim Sutton, Michael Leavitt are friends of mine from that I didn't know they were connected to. Joel Yates, Dallas Investor, Irwin Banks, there's some mortgage bankers, all sorts of good stuff. But I'll click on add connections. It then takes me to the second part of this, which I don't want to waste my time with. It says a LinkedIn connection means you've never lost touch. This is invite your contacts. Well, these are all usually old emails that people aren't using anymore, so I don't want to do it. So I'm going to hit skip this part. And now it says you've invited 2,323 people to connect with you. Now I've got obviously 15,000 reconnections. It's going to take some while because not everybody's on LinkedIn every day, right, everybody? Yes, a lot are on Facebook and things like that. But when those that are on LinkedIn, when they log in, they see posts from Scott. They see posts from us. They see us building a rapport. And I'm a big believer that now I've got 15,000 people that if I post something to or send out to, they're going to see my stuff. They're going to get hey, Scott Carson's going live because I have Lively connected to this. When I do a live stream video like I did this morning for the podcast, it's a great way to expand your audience, but have them there. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's important to have a YouTube account and ask people to follow you on there, the Google. But the thing is, when it's the biggest website everybody goes to, you want to try to filter it down a little bit, not to bottleneck it, but your deal filter, your funding filter, your raising capital filter, whatever it may be. You want to start implementing these things now so that when video does hit, you start using that, great. But otherwise, you're still building an audience. And I think this is just one of the most valuable things that you can do to get to that rare air. Now, if you've only got less than 500 connections, yeah, you're not going to be able to add too many people, right? But think about this. If you go out, one of the things that I did the other day is I uploaded 2,000 IRA investors, and about 1,100 of them connected with me. Think about this. Some of you that are from the mastermind, you know that we are able to provide those. If you have an IRA investors in any county, uploading your IRA investor list to the audience there. And then you've got people that you've bought cheap to be able to connect with you. Ooh, isn't that pretty cool? All right. So I'm done for now. All right. And I could go back in and add other lists. People from Note Camp, people from WCN Crew. You know, I could upload so many things on here to help feed into my database. Now I'm at 15,006. I want to hit 20,000 relatively soon. I think I said if I hit 30,000, there's a couple things. But having that audience, this is what I'm trying to get at, everybody. Having that audience is so valuable for all of you because we're all looking to get our word out. And I don't believe, the thing, if you connect with me, you'll all start having connections and things like that. I'm a big believer, though, that you have to start doing these things to separate yourself out, especially when everything hits the fan. I am positioning myself so that I don't have to travel that much anymore. If I want to, yes, I've traveled quite a bit the last couple of weeks, but I'm positioning ourselves that everything is going to be online. So if I want to move to Hawaii, I want to move to the Bahamas or move to Puerto Rico or heck, freaking Europe or something like that, I still have the connections and the people out there to reach out to that I can, if I use my time wisely. And some of you are still working full time and juggling your note business and your real estate business, but you're still doing a lot of things out there that are old. And I'm a big believer. If you want to boost some results, just go on and import your contacts. Go on to your Buffers and Hootsuites and start sharing to LinkedIn. Start sharing your stuff to LinkedIn. It doesn't take that much to do to share it to LinkedIn to really drive some things. Start leveraging when you go to events. Hey, who's nearby? Let's see if we can't connect with you. Go from there. Questions, comments, concerns. When you upload the list, you want to make it just to be emails. All right. That's different with Facebook. Facebook allows you to do custom audience as well, where you upload the emails or the cell phone numbers. All you're going to be able to do here with LinkedIn is uploading the emails. So if you got a large list of old connections or old business cards and shoeboxes, God bless, we all have one of those. Take the time, put them in an Excel, just take the emails, upload them in Excel. They'll do all the rest of the work to connect them because, hey, they've got their first name, last name, email for you. And it's just a way to distribute there. If they're not going to be on there, they're not going to be on there. But I'm a very big fan of LinkedIn for us in the note and real estate industry. I mean, literally people type in there, hey, I'll find 100,000 people. I'm just going to connect with people. I know a lot of people aren't connecting with stuff. That's okay. Because those that do, it's much more desirable than me knocking on 100 phone calls. It's much more, it's easier for me to reach out to asset managers instead of dialing for dollars. I can do these all the time. I can hire a VA to do those things for me to make things happen. So here's the thing that I wanted to share with you guys. One of the things that we're doing, let me go back in here, share my messages here. Let me share my thing. Is we're leveraging the power of video when we send a direct message. Okay. And I've been doing this with the podcast for a little bit. We're starting to do some of the stuff with the asset manager stuff too. Let's see if I can pull up something like this. I have an assistant who doesn't work here in Austin. All right. So here you go. So we'll see that Jason Vidarui. Okay. So Jason, seasoned process engineer, but he must have popped up under having a podcast of some sort. So, StoryHinge. Oh, wait a second. Let's look at this. See a story. So he popped up as that. So that's a nice thing. Oh, you're going to like this, Chris Aveni. Hey, Scott. Roy asks here. Did your LinkedIn comment about adding phone numbers again to their contact downloads prior? I don't understand what you're saying, Roy. Okay. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't think we've never gotten phones downloaded via LinkedIn before. It's always been first name, last name, email, company, and then job title was the 5 things that were downloaded Now you'll still get 4 of those downloaded, but you won't get the emails anymore. Okay. But anyway, messaging, I had my assistant going on here and they send it. Hey, I had to say, hey, you look for podcast hosts, look for people that have a podcast of some sort, some business or something like that. And so I had her copy paste this. Hi, Jason. I see we run in similar crowds and thought we would connect and listen to your podcast lately as well. Great show. I'd love to review. Might also be a good guest on your podcast. And I put a short video here. Okay. The short video is 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Scott Carson, and I'm known across the country as the Note Guy. My specialty is I am a very active real estate investor and the CEO of WeCloseNotes.com. We are a Austin-based boutique real estate investment firm that focuses on buying distressed debt, distressed mortgages from banks all across the country and working with the homeowners to try to keep them in their property. We believe in creating win-wins for our borrowers, and I've been doing this for over a decade now, since everything hit the fan back in the financial. I have been teaching real estate investors how to do this all across the country through the how to find, fund, and flip non-performing notes without using any of their own money or podcast. I would be very honored to.
So anyway, so the thing is, I did this back before Christmas because you can see Uncle Sam down here, right? And if you look at my video up here, I have another bookshelf. I bought another bookshelf for Christmas, put it up there. So I just want to share you something on here, everybody. This is important. I think you guys will love this. So if I go to Vimeo, my Vimeo account is where that video is housed. It's not on YouTube. And I go to my videos. I have a lot. So I have sent that out. I don't know how many times. Pitch. You can see I just searched for this recently. I share my videos to YouTube and Vimeo just in case one gets shut down. I don't lose everything. Search. So my pitch video here has been used you see 5 months ago is when I filmed it. So it's been viewed in 5 months. Drum roll, please. A whopping 124 times, right? Woo! 124 times. That's not a lot, you may think. But what's valuable is that 75 of those people, or actually 80 of those people, because I got booked 3 more times today, have reached out and responded to me and said, we'd love to have you as a guest. We'd love to work with you. Okay. I'm still in the early stages with doing this for the asset managers, but I still believe you're going to have some good stuff with the asset managers. If you do it very similar. Hey, my name's Frank Fiore. I'm originally from Boston, based on my accent, but I live in South Florida. I've been an active note investor for several years, active note in real estate investor for about 5 years now, buying distressed assets for my own portfolio. I would love to see what you have on your books available. And using that little video, short video, minute and a half, 2 minutes, and posting that in the LinkedIn connections will drive you a lot of traffic to you. It'll drive people to a little bit extra that people will be able to watch and learn a little bit more about you and then connect with you. And I think that's a phenomenal thing to do. We're still in the early phases of that. I have a VA doing a little bit of that stuff there as well. No, I won't show you my pitch video for that, but it's very similar. Hey, I've been doing this for years. Here's what I'm focused on. Here, I'd love to talk with you. Here's what we're looking for. Give me a phone call. Something very, very simple. You know, something very, very simple for you to take a look at. So I think that's a great, great thing that I don't think anybody else is doing in this industry. Nobody's sure as hell telling you how to do it except me. And that's what I think is a lot of value. But I'm serious. If you can implement little things like that, think about this. You upload a video, 15-minute video to LinkedIn. I think you're going to see a lot of great stuff out there. I think you're going to see some dramatic activity. There's nobody doing it. It's like the way I want to look at this, everybody, is if you could go back in time. If you could go back in time to when they bought when Thomas Jefferson bought from Napoleon Hill the Louisiana Purchase. Think about that. Or being the people coming to Oklahoma for the the Boomer Sooners, or going out to California for the gold rush. Think about all those people, the 49ers. This is that kind of wave I believe is going to happen if you use this stuff religiously. There's nobody out there. Nobody's doing some of the things that you guys could be doing out there. And if they are, they're having tremendous success, but nobody is teaching this stuff. And I just wanted to pass this on to you guys because I believe in the power of it. No matter what you're doing. Maybe you're not a real estate investor. Maybe you're not. Ross says, you sound just like Gary Vee. That's funny. I'm a big well, I haven't listened to Gary Vee in a couple of years. I love Gary Vee. I think he's great. But I stopped listening to stuff because I was more focused on going out and taking advantage of things. I got tired of him saying the same things over and over again. But I think there's so much value to this, guys, if you leverage this right and connect with people on there. You know, heck, as you grow your audience, hey, connect with me on Instagram, or hey, connect with me on Twitter, you know, or follow me on my YouTube channel. You know, the thing to keep in mind is look at what your connections are. Look at your connections. Take the time, pull up your phone, take a look at it. You're at 500 or less connections or less than 1,000. Now, our buddy Paul Cooper, I don't know if Paul's on here. Is Paul on here tonight? He should be. He might be working tonight. Paul Cooper. I don't see him. He must be working tonight. What I'm trying to get is Paul has leveraged this quite well being a note investor, and he's using this to build the real estate that he has. He's grabbing this LinkedIn land grab, I guess you could say, so that when he does go full-time, when he leaves his job as a traffic controller, he's got some opportunities there to be able to read stuff. And that's the same thing. Everybody out there, use this to market yourself, whether it's locally, whether you're just in Temple, or to connect with people. The more, and this is one of the easiest ways to have people connect with you. You don't have to worry about the fake spammers on Facebook or the fake girls or the fake guys on there. Now, who knows, that may end up happening at some point in LinkedIn, but why would you not want to do this? Because it is a professional network. You are dealing with a class above than most people on Facebook. Like I just get so sick of the crap on Facebook. It just doesn't make sense. Now we use it royally. I spent a lot of time on my business page, but I had to take my personal page from Facebook originally and convert it to a business page because I got beyond that 5,000. Converted business page, 33,000 plus on there. Follows now. Doing a lot of work. This is an easy way for you to grow your audience a lot faster than I have over the years, everybody. This is how you can go from 0 to 60 really quick. All right. So the things that I would do, I'll do a quick recap for you guys. Things that I would be doing is taking any spreadsheet, any business card contacts you have, put it in a spreadsheet, just put the email in there as CSV, comma separated value, and upload that in there, go out and find them. If you've gone to any of our workshops and gotten a contact list from any of our workshops, I would go on there as well. If you have, gone out and bought names or things like that for your specific genre or workshop or IRA leads that you're doing, stuff like that, I would import those. Remember, you can upload a maximum of 10,000 connections. I wouldn't upload them all like that at a time because it's going to take some while, especially for you that have new audiences where you're only limited to be able to connect with 50 people at a time. This is what I would do. Upload the list to grow your audience dramatically, or go in and connect your Outlook, connect your Gmail, connect your other emails to those that you've emailed to, and LinkedIn can log in, connect with their accounts and see, hey, who have you emailed? And do they have a LinkedIn profile? And then you can do that. Connect with those if you see their smiling face. And then the second phase of the connection, if you don't no photos on there, just skip that part. Those are usually dead emails anyway. All right. Am I excited? Yes, I'm excited about this. You guys should know it. When I see an opportunity to help all of us, and I mean by that, all of us raise more capital, really knock some great things out, finding more deals and helping you market, take advantage of this. For most of you that aren't posting on a regular basis, all you've got to do is go into Buffer or Hootsuite and connect your LinkedIn profile and just share on a regular basis. I know that some of you guys have come to our mastermind or come to the fast, like, Scott, how do you share so much stuff? How do you all over the place? It's because I set up one tool. I set it up once, and when we upload one thing, it shares across the board. All right. Shares across the board. So excited about this. We're going to be doing some cool things at the Note Mastermind here in April. Was kind of around some of the stuff. Definitely around some of the stuff here for everybody who's going to show up for you. So we're excited about that. Once again, it's the 26th, 27th, 28th of April. We've got a limited room block for those of you that are part of the mastermind. So make sure you reach out to Stephanie and RSVP ASAP so you don't miss out on a fun event with some cool stuff going on. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns from any of you out there? Anybody need me to go back and walk you through a thing or two that are watching here for you guys that are joining us tonight? I'm seeing some comments from people already, which are kind of cracking me up. I'm getting some messages from people. There are no questions, no comments. Did you guys like that? Was that a waste of time? Thanks, Charles. I appreciate it. Now, the thing is, I don't want this to be awesome. I want to see you guys implement this. I don't do this because I want you to tell me I'm great or it's awesome content. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the feedback, but I want you guys to implement this stuff. If you have to learn to implement these things, everybody. All right. Because I've been in a lot of searches in LinkedIn past couple of weeks, and now I've got you hit the commercial use limit. Any tips to get around that? Yes, if you're doing a lot of searches on your regular computer-based LinkedIn, you'll hit that, Eric. It's because you get a limited amount of connections. I would jump over on the mobile app and start messing around with the mobile app. Okay. Or upgrading to the paid version of LinkedIn should solve all that commercial use limit stuff too. Okay. You're welcome, Eric. Thanks, great. Thanks, Frank. Get some other comments here. All right, this is great. I figured out what I was doing wrong trying to upload my list. Yeah, you probably uploading a full list. Like I've screwed up a couple times on that, Laura. So glad to hear that. Charles, I'm working on Connex 25 a month. That's good, Charles. That's good. Almost doubling your audience. That's great. Glad to hear it. So upload our database. Upload the emails, Bill Griesmeyer. Okay. I would also then go join some of the groups, but then I would also just share on a regular post your video. Now the thing is too, if you can do your videos in 15 minutes and upload it directly to LinkedIn, it's going to do better for you versus just posting on a link. Okay. LinkedIn will very often. So the thing is, Karen, is expand your connections, especially if it's the asset managers or if it's other things. And we can talk about that offline if you want to give me a phone call tomorrow or shoot me an email and we can schedule something to talk about that. But yeah, if they're getting multiple requests to connect, great. Or they may just ignore it and they may not see. That's fine. Just move on. Just don't stick with 100 connections. You guys should be adding a lot of connections on this, okay? Raw Sheen says, I'm searching for note groups. I'm not finding many on LinkedIn. Yeah, because you're probably looking at note investing. Look for distressed assets. There's a good group. Brett Palumbo has a group. Just go to my profile and look at the groups that we're a part of. All right? And then add connections, ask to join those groups. It's the easiest thing. I mean, there's a guy by the name of Pete Osmus has got some very large real estate, distressed asset groups, that kind of stuff, cash flow groups. Join those. Notes is so niche-y, I would not be focused just on really looking at distressed assets. Cash flow groups is the best way to look for that raw. And sometimes some pretty good sized people there you can connect with. All right. Christina says, this is super helpful as I was wondering what to do with all these biz cards I have. Yeah, you should have sent an email out to them a long time ago, Christina. Nothing but love for you, gal. That's right. This is a great way if you got a stack of business cards that you've not done anything with. Upload them and see if it'll work here and connect them on LinkedIn. That's one way to do it. Okay. Apartment groups. Yes. Thank you, Jeff. Well, if you're looking for trying to raise capital for note deals, go to some of the multifamily apartment groups. Those people are looking to do deals, but they don't want to overpay for assets. So that's been a great way for us to raise capital. That's right, Wolfman. Oh, what's up? Nothing but love, Christina. Well, I'm sure we'll see you next week at the Quest $1 Trillion Mixer. Okay. Any other final questions, thoughts? Hopefully this was valuable for all of you. That's the nice thing. One of the things, if you're out at an event and somebody's got a LinkedIn profile, you don't have business cards, you can very easily, hey, let's do this. Let's connect that way on LinkedIn and follow up that way. All right. That's exactly Charles Wilson. Yes, brother. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because what I have found is that the people I have connected with it has led to people looking at my profile and wanting to connect with me. That's a very common thing that happens in the note space. You can go to LinkedIn profile and people that looked at one profile will also look at other profiles. I have that happen all the time. Steph has that happen all the time. They looked at my profile and they look at Steph's, or they look at Chris's, or they'll look at other people. They look at Eddie Speeds. People looking at Eddie Speeds will look at mine. They look at Donna Ba, they look at mine, or vice versa. So, yes, that's a smart thing. It works to really expand your audience. You're no longer, as I've said, 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon. You're 1 degree from Kevin Bacon, everybody. So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Note Night in America. Hopefully it was very beneficial. I know it. If you use these things I teach you guys and start implementing some of these things, you're going to see a lot of growth. Just give it some time to marinate. Give it some time to connect. You know, you can't, if you just have 100 people or just 50 people, you're trying to connect with just those 50 people, you have to expand it on there. You got to give them time to log in and take a look at their connections. I mean, Steph maybe looks at her LinkedIn account once every couple of weeks. She just doesn't spend time on it, but that's okay. When she does, she's got a lot of connections. It's a great place, guys. I swear, that's the California gold rush on LinkedIn right now. If you use it now and start implementing, it's an audience for you. So when they do go to live video, you're going to have a lot of great stuff that you can add to. Glad to hear what Raw. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Wyla. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of the WCN Crew membership. So excited. We've got some good stuff next week as well to go through on Monday night for you that I think you're going to really enjoy. It's kind of some stuff I've been working on for a little bit. So looking forward to it. Hopefully this is valuable. Have a great evening, and we'll see you guys all later at the top. Bye. Hi, Ava. Hi, Ava. Good to see you. She says, hi, Scott. That's awesome. Good stuff, Charles. Good stuff. Take care, everybody.